for you.
What's up, you guys? Welcome to another episode of Endless Podcast. I'm your host, Vanessa. Make sure you guys grab a drink or your greens, sit down, relax, let's unplug and talk endlessly. Before we go into the main topic of this episode, I want to kick it off with recapping on my weekend because honestly, it was quite eventful. My fiance and I and some friends went down to San Diego and we went to this 420 friendly event. It was so cool. It was called the Stoner Olympics, and basically they had a bunch of local vendors who sold THC or CBD products. And it was honestly such a great vibe. It was such a great event. There was a lot of freebies and really nice people, and the vendors were just amazing. They were so knowledgeable and they just wanted you to get the best stuff, it was a lot of fun. There was even there was a game that you could partake in if you only paid $10, and at certain booths they would participate into the Olympics. Well, it's so cool to watch because you and one other person, you both paid your entries and you went to the different stations, and each one was a different competition, and you just tried to beat the other person. And at the end, what each winner from each station would get a prize, and then at the end, whoever won the most between the both of you got the bigger prize, and then the second person obviously would still get a prize, but it was smaller. But in our case, it was actually they both got the same prize, so that was really cool because they were the last set to go through the whole course. So that was honestly so much fun to be around people who just wanted to vibe with you, just were really nice. And honestly, this was our first time too to be around people since the lockdown. I mean, my fiance and I have not gone to an event or any type of large gathering since the lockdown back in March, and now we fully got vaccinated just this 2 weeks ago, a week ago. But we recently just got our second dosage of one of the COVID vaccines, so we were set to actually go to this event and be comfortable. Obviously, it wasn't super jam packed or anything. It was outside and there was a decent amount of people. You could easily walk around, and it was so much fun, honestly, for the freebies that we got and the small price to pay for that Olympic course. You got a lot of great product, and everybody just enjoyed it because we weren't all partaking into the Olympics, but seeing my fiance and his friend partake into it was a lot of fun. And it was really fucking cool to honestly be around people again, but even more around people who are 420 friendly. And they're just there not to judge and just wanting to have a good time. There was literally such immaculate vibes, you guys. That was honestly such a good event to kick off kind of this end of COVID, because I mean, we're slowly but surely starting to kind of go out and partake in activities. And the event was a lot of fun. It was nice to be around a lot of people, and it was just kind of re-engage with society and friends in a large setting, and not have to worry about oh my gosh, COVID, da da da. I feel confident with the vaccine. And I know some people have different opinions and perspectives on the vaccine, and that's totally fine. I understand. I'm not here to put any of my opinions like that on you. If you want to take it or not, I don't care. That's your body, not mine. If you are from SD and you want to check out the event that I was talking about, one of the guys that runs it did say that it is going to be a reoccurring event every 2 weeks. I don't know how long that cycle will last, but if you want to hear more about it, attend an event in the future, I'll definitely leave their info in the description box. So now we're going to get right into the main topic of this episode, which is how to start a sustainable fitness journey. Now, I do want to add a disclaimer. I am not a certified personal trainer or nutritionist. This is just knowledge I have gathered through experience and personal research. So, starting a fitness journey. Everybody always looks up how to start it, tips and tricks about what works, what doesn't, how to do something, what should I eat, all those things. And I would say a lot of the advice that is out there isn't always the best or most knowledgeable. You do have to not take everything that you find on internet as fact. There is a lot of misleading information, a lot of misleading habits and routines that floats around. So as I mentioned in my previous episode, I was talking about how my goal is not for you to recreate the things that I do. I'm not trying for you to recreate my success. I want you to learn from what I'm talking about and making it yours, doing what fits you, not necessarily you do something because I did it. And that's a lot of the content that I see when I started my journey, or even nowadays. There's always the famous quote of "This is what I did" or "This is what works for me," and then they go off and give the advice, right? And it's important to keep in mind that yes, it is great to learn from other people and see what they did, but it's not about mimicking their success. It's not about doing the same thing that they're doing or did or whatever. That's not what you should really look for and what you should get your knowledge from, because the things that they do are not probably going to benefit you or get you the result that you think you're going to have. For example, if I see this chick and she has this amazing body and I look at all her content, I follow her, and she's always about, hey guys, like this is what I did. That's her perspective. That's how she shares stuff, right? This is what I did. And she shares her routine. She shares obviously her supplements, her workout split, her everything she does, right? What she eats in a day, what are her go-to foods, right? So you do the same thing because you're like, okay, well, I really like her content. Like, she always shares what she does, and okay, like, clearly she has results. Like, clearly she looks so good, and I want to be like her, I want to, look bomb like her. So I'm going to do what she does. But it doesn't work out for you. It's harder than you think. You are like probably like, why am I not getting the results that I want? Or I'm doing everything that she's doing and I'm miserable. I think it's one of the biggest things. It's that actually I fucking hate the way that she works out. I hate squatting so much, or I hate this particular exercise that she swears by. It hurts my hips, it hurts me, or I always feel like shit, or I get really sore bad, or eating wise, I fucking miserable eating this. I don't really even like rice, but I'm forcing myself to eat it so that I can get the gains. Or you're tired of it, but you see that this person, that this is what they did, and or the supplements that you're taking, like you're like, well, this is what they took, and so I fucking hate it. Actually, I feel like I make no difference, but fuck it. I mean, I'm seeing, sometimes the number go up on the scale or down, whatever my goal is. I see some type of result, or but the truth is that that kind of routine isn't optimal for you because it's not made for you. It's not made by you. It's made by someone else, meant for someone else. And every single person's body is different and responds different. We all have different anatomy. We all have different taste buds. We have different cultures, different backgrounds, and all those things play a lot into our fitness journey. It's not a one size fits all, my friends. You can definitely look at different people and see what they did and everything, but don't just zone into one person or one particular body type. You can learn from several people, take all these people's experiences, take all these people's, knowledge, testimonies, whatever it is that you're looking at, and take commonalities from them. You can take all these different things, sum it up, and be like, okay, it looks like the common thing was, well, they ate a lot of protein. Well, they ate 5 meals a day instead of 3. Or all these women did a particular workout style. So take commonalities and you can go from there and then research that commonality and learn what that is. Learn what the fuck is protein. Learn what weight training is. You're really not gonna know what is exactly that you like. So when you research stuff, when you really research all those commonalities that you see in those videos or content, whatever, however you consume it, you can begin to learn the purpose of it, and then you can kind of go from there. Okay, does this sound like something that I really want to do? Or maybe you can modify, you can tweak it that way to where it's something that you like. So with that being said, I want to go in and start with the 5 tips that I have for creating a sustainable fitness journey. So for the first tip I have, it's actually do not buy any supplements right away. as soon as you decide that you want to do some fitness and everything, people run and buy supplements. The reason I'm saying not to avoid to buy anything in the beginning of your fitness journey, it's because a lot of the time people don't know what they're buying or what that supplement's meant for or when they actually need a supplement. When you're starting your fitness journey, you really don't need any type of supplement because you're not going to be performing at a level that needs supplement. You should be really starting as basic and as simple as you can. Like let's sit back and think about it for a bit. If the fitness world is something completely new to you and you really haven't done any physical activity in really long time, then how can you expect to go to the gym and lift all these weights, to do all these workouts, to perform at a not beginner level? So it's not really a good idea to go in and buy protein or pre-workout or really anything because you don't even know what your body actually needs. Supplements are meant for and should be used by people who have been doing some workout, have knowledge, have been already on their fitness journey for some time and continuously before even taking any product, any type of supplement. It's because you have to understand your body and the way that it's responding to your workout routine, to the way that you're going, you really have to kind of wait and sit back and see how your body is reacting to these physical changes, these nutritional changes, these just overall routine change. It's a big change for your body, and I think that people kind of really disregard that, and it's easy to forget how difficult it can be for your body to adjust to that. So that's why I would avoid buying any type of supplement until you understand what it is that you're doing and how you want to approach it. And you should definitely look into several different brands. Don't just zone into one brand. I used to actually think it was bad or that I tried so many different supplements. I tried so many different supplements before getting on the one that I'm using now. I just saw it as just a bad thing, but there are a lot of differences between supplements and what they do and what that brand caters to. So that is very important to look through different brands and do your research and feel your body out and formulate a new routine and stick to it consistently. And like I said, understand how your body's changing so that you can really go in and find what supplements are great for you. So going on to my second tip, it would be start with simple physical activity. So this would be like if you just decide to start only jump roping or going on a hike every evening with your family or your partner, taking your dog on a walk around the block, every single morning, going for swims more often, or going on a bike ride, all these simple physical activity, because that's going to help with building coordination when you decide that you want to do something more technical. For example, like going into the gym, you always see videos of, if people are comfortable with it, they'll share that transformation of when you first started the lifting weights and stuff. You're not as coordinated, and it's because, if you haven't been doing any type of physical activity, you're not going to be as coordinated as you think you are, and you're going to be doing things and you're going to be like, what the fuck, I'm just doing my body weight and I'm tired, or I literally cannot do this, like this is really hard for me. So you introducing your body to some physical activity before getting to the rigorous stuff, it's going to help a lot with getting back into that coordination, understanding your body and getting more comfortable with moving. And like I said, it just helps with keeping everything simple, because I feel like when you do something simple, like even as just jumping rope, you see the small progress in between, and it actually is going to show some type of result, because you are still exercising that muscle. You're still going to grow some muscle. If you don't have any type of quad gains and you start biking every single day, you're going to start to see that your quads are going to get toned. You're going to start growing some muscle, your calves even. When you jump rope, for sure, your stamina is going to build up, and that's all going to help, and you're going to perform a lot better when you decide to do stuff that is more rigorous, and you're ahead and take it up a notch. And you're going to see that when you keep things simple as just kind of creating that one task, it's more attainable because you're not going to spend more than an hour at the gym, the 2 hours. You're only going to spend like 30 minutes. What's better for a beginner when you're somebody new? Would you rather take the 30 minutes or the 2 hour workout? You rather do the fucking 30 minutes because you most likely don't even have the stamina for an hour, and it's not hate, but it's reality. So you don't have to kill yourself with these fucking rigorous workouts. You don't have to jump in going hard as fuck, thinking that if you go hard, if you go in thinking that, oh, I'm taking all these supplements, oh, I'm doing all these like crazy workouts that I didn't do before. You don't have to do that stuff to get the results. You're probably gonna fucking hate it, and you're gonna probably be miserable because you're not used to that. So keep it simple with the physical activity. It's about the small victory. It's about you actually going to hike or going on walks every single day compared to never doing it. And you realize that as you, like I said, as you build this coordination, as you build this simpler physical activity, it's going to help you so much in your performance when you actually decide to do more rigorous activity. And it's going to be more attainable and attractive to you to actually go in and do that workout versus kind of jumping in too hard and you being disinterested because it's just too complicated and hard for you. So moving on to my third tip, it's swap the little things out first. And this is regarding to more of nutrition really only. So what I mean by this is it's like those simple swaps of instead of drinking juice during mealtime, drink water, or switching the white bread with whole wheat bread, switching corn oil with olive oil. You know, it's so simple little nutritional swaps that you can do, and it's going to be a lot better for you because you're going to be like, okay, it's small changes, but they help. You know, you realizing that you not buying any more juice is actually going to save you some coin because juice, she's not a cheap girl. Like over time, if you keep buying and buying juice, it adds up. So imagine eliminating completely juice and only opting for water can definitely help you save money. You know, just switching from the white bread, like I said, to the whole wheat bread, it's just a matter of just picking a healthier option. White bread is not a good nutritional value bread. And then it's just like the way that you cook, instead of cooking with oil that's not necessarily the best, swap it with a healthier alternative. Olive oil is better than other oils out there, but also it depends on obviously your health and what you can take. Other people have other health conditions. You really have to consider your health before deciding to cook or swap something out. You do have to always keep in mind your health. Where are you? What has your doctor told you before? If you have health restrictions, definitely 100% consult your doctor. Go talk to a nutritionist before going off and setting to any nutritional swaps. I think that that's something really essential that should be talked about more, that it is good to go seek professional advice by nutritionists, because again, if you are somebody who has health restrictions, you really have to understand, you know, all the swapping the food or nutritional changes. You really have to understand what you're doing. So it's just about swapping the little things, like little meals, instead of like certain snack of like simple as like eating chips every day to making it, okay, you know what, not eat chips every day. It's like, let me do another snack that will be like apples and peanut butter is actually something that's really good. That if you like chips, if you like the crunch, like get some apples and peanut butter. It's like really good. You know, it's just like those little things, or those little changes, those little swaps that you can do with your meals, or you know, with little things like that, definitely does add up. And it's a lot more easier to do, because if you kind of go in and you change everything about your diet, you're gonna fucking hate it. You're gonna be miserable with the food that you're eating. It's adjusting period. You definitely need it, and it's definitely better to start slow because it limits your for you to binge, because that's typically a problem a lot of people have when they start off hard and they completely change their diet, their day-to-day. They will fucking binge. That's a real problem, and that's a precursor to an even bigger problem with them. I don't want to get too much into it. You definitely have to be cautious about the way that you approach your nutrition, because you can definitely do some do some damage in terms of like you don't even realize you're picking up disordered eating routines and habits, and because you just see that everybody does it, so you just kind of go with it. So nutrition is super fucking important, and you should definitely start off with swapping little things, like I said, with just different breads, drinking water, even the oil that you cook with, depending all on your health restrictions, all on your health, okay? That is so fucking important. It's not about, oh, this is what this person eats, so I'm gonna do it. Definitely do your research and start off simple, small. That way you'll eventually work up, because if you create it small and do little things, eventually if you like it and you're doing simple workouts, simple physical activity, like just going hiking every morning, just jump roping, just bike riding, just swimming, and then you're swapping the little things out with, I just drink water at mealtime. I'm changing, like I said, little small things in my day-to-day diet. Instead of chips, I'm eating apple and peanut butter. Just simple things like that. It all adds up. It's going to make it's going to make the whole process a lot more attractive, and it's going to make it a lot more sustainable. So it's going to be a lot more long-term, because there are things that you're doing that are little, but you're just adjusting just slightly, and you can go back and forth with what you like, what you don't like, and everything is a lot more, I said, attractive. And then eventually you're going to want to add it up, and you're going to be like, you know what, like, I've been doing those little swap changes, I've been doing this simple physical activity, and I like everything I'm doing. It's simple, and you're going to want to kick it up. You're going to want to be like, okay, like, I'm feeling better, I'm doing better, and you're going to want to kick up the intensity. And that's the thing, is that you want to go slow and steady, because eventually you're going to want to kick up the pace. You're going to want to kick it up. But the trick is, don't go head on into everything, because you're just going to shock your body, and you're going to be like, I'm miserable, and you can burn out, and it can lead to behaviors that are not so good. Going on to my fourth tip, it is about gathering knowledge. Now, this is super important. It's really important for you when you are starting off, like I said, with your fitness journey, to really take the time to gather your knowledge. And this is going to help a lot when you're going to finally decide to take supplements, because reading articles, books, podcasts, by the way, podcasts are, I would say, the best way to grow, gain knowledge when it comes to fitness topics, because a lot more people can, go more into depth with it in a podcast than videos, but videos are good too. I would say avoid using social media as your source of research. Don't take to social medias and look up people and learn from them like that way. That's not how you should look at your research or like new ideas. Don't look at social media. Social media is not a good way to gather knowledge. A lot more credible way would be reading books, articles, like I said, podcasts and videos, because you should always check the credibility of the person. And overall, it's super fucking important to know what it is you're doing. It's so important to understand what protein is, what carbs are, what any type of supplement is, what a pre-workout does, what EAAs is, what is the difference between BCAAs and EAAs, what is all the different proteins, because there's like animal protein and plant-based protein, and there is so many different variations of all of that. So it's so important to gather all that knowledge while you're starting out your fitness journey, because the more you know, the better for you. You're like, for example, a good story about why it's really important to gather knowledge before you get any supplement is actually my sister. My sister is a runner. She loves to fucking run. Go figure, I fucking hate it. But my sister can run like 5 miles like nothing. That's like a good day. That's like nothing to her. It's like walking. So, but my sister, she started to notice, she didn't take any supplements. Like she did not take any supplements at the time. So she would just run, but she would notice that when she would go super long distance for her, she noticed that she wouldn't recover well, that she would feel low. And then she noticed that when she sweat, because she drank a lot of water, she would drink a lot of water, but the water wouldn't do anything to her. And she was like, it's not about energy. Like she just was like, I don't really know. So she would gather knowledge, and she said that when she would sweat, she would feel like, it would feel like little balls on her face, like just something on her, like shedding and stuff. So she decided to look it up, and she ended up finding out that it's actually was sweating out salt. So all those little particles she felt on her face was actually the salt that was letting out of her body. So my sister wasn't recovering well when it came to running, because it wasn't because she needed to take protein or supplements. It was actually because her body needed to recover in salt levels. And that's what she started taking Propel, because it has sodium in it, and like Gatorade and stuff like that. Like, it's good in sodium. So again, that's very important. A good example of why you should gather knowledge before buying any supplement. Because if my sister had bought in, like, let's say, for example, essential amino acids or BCAAs or a protein, that wouldn't necessarily have fixed her problem. It wouldn't have, because that's not what she needed. What she needed was to replace the sodium. So, like I said, it's super important to gather the knowledge before you go in there and buy anything, because a lot of the times you're not satisfying what it is that your body needs to be recovered by. So always gather knowledge, always read articles, books, podcasts, videos. Don't go to social media as your primary source of research, because a lot of it's misleading, as I mentioned in the beginning, and a lot of it's catered to that person. Not all of it, but that's the most popular pages and stuff that I've noticed, is that a lot of people give advice regarding based off solely their experiences, and not always, people don't always go to the most like credible and knowledgeable accounts, because they're not as glamorous as the trendy fitness accounts. So yeah, and then I'm going to close off with the last tip, which I feel is the most important tip in my opinion, and this one is to nurture your mind. You have to remember you're at a very vulnerable position. This is something new, and you need to have a place you can express your thoughts. Now, this can be done by journaling. I do this actually. I love to journal. I try to keep it like at least once a month, once every 2 weeks. I try to do it every week, but I just kind of forget about it. I only really journal, but I do journal like frequently, at least every month. So you can do this by journaling your thoughts. Drawing is a really good one. I like to draw as well. Painting, even gardening. Gardening, I would say, helps a lot of people, because you have to really take care and be attentive of your plants. If you want to be a successful gardener, I feel like a lot of things that I've learned from like plant TikTok, or like people just in general who love plants. My sister loves plants. I follow other people that have talk about plants, and a lot of the time the common thing that I see is that plants like your time and attention. So that'd be really good to nurture your mind. It's having to grow and, take care of another little living creature that isn't as sensitive as a pet. So I think nurturing your mind is the most important tip, because you're going to be in a very difficult spot. I don't think people really understand how mentally challenging it is to start a fitness journey, to start your fitness goals, to achieve them. It's extremely mentally challenging. There are going to be times in whatever you're exercising. I know for me, I'm speaking on experience right here. I've had times that in the past where I'm weight training and I get super fucking frustrated. I nitpick myself. I nitpick my form. I should be putting more weight on than I am at right now. It's like I'm making no progress in the weight, and I'll nitpick myself, or there'd just be times where you just really don't want to do anything, and you just kind of, it's really mentally challenging on your mind. So you definitely have to have a place that you can express those thoughts, have a place that you can really feel comfortable and safe to say everything it is that you're feeling. And it is important to talk to yourself and tell yourself, hey, how am I feeling? Am I really liking this? Do I really enjoy this? Is this really working out for me? You constantly have to check in with yourself, because this is something extremely mentally challenging. You are creating this new, healthier routine, behaviors, habits, and that takes so much work, and it's so difficult and challenging, but the reward obviously is immaculate. But it's important to nurture your mind. Journal, draw, paint, garden, do something that's going to help your creativity flow, and you're able to have self-expression through some activities like that. Yeah, I hope that you guys enjoyed those tips. If you're looking to start your fitness journey, definitely try to implement those tips into a way that is best for you. Like I said, my whole purpose of this My whole purpose of giving these tips is not for you to recreate my success, for you to do what I'm doing. It's more for you to take these tips and apply it to your life, modify it, make it so that it fits you and you alone. So that wraps up this episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and thank you for all the support I got from my first episode. That was really nerve-wracking for me to post it, but the outcome was so amazing. It made me genuinely happy to know that there are people out there who do watch me and that they really do relate and enjoy my content that I put out. So thank you so much for listening to this episode and the previous episode. And if you have not, definitely check it out. It's worth it. And yes, so that was it. See you guys next time. Check out at _endless_podcast_ on Instagram for updates. You can follow me on my fitness page on Instagram at curlytoned. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to share it with your friends. Let me know what your favorite part of this episode was. See you next time to unplug and talk endlessly.